Thank you very much for that, Leanne. Of course, we continue our conversation this morning with Dr. Darren Green. Of course, also just tapping into the wisdom of Dani Evita as we talk about men's health. And we're talking about aging, dealing with loss of strength, loss of, I guess, vitality, physical vitality, mental vitality. And what happens, how do you deal with all of these different challenges? And this is something that we want to engage you in as well. So please do give us a call. The number is 083-9133-728. We await your questions and your comments. Now, this past weekend was a very, very big one for me, Dr. Darren, and Dani, I turned 30 years old. That's exactly how I felt about it at the time. Is that just something that happens to everyone as they age, or just men that we just dread getting older, Dr. Darren?
I think women are actually a lot worse when it comes to aging. They're also a lot more concerned about the wrinkles and as they go on. But for men as well, I think it's not as bad. So, but, you know, the big decades, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, we all try to make it an iconic big turning event, as if something magical is going to happen within that 24-hour period to our abilities all around. But I think a lot of it's got to do with perception. What makes a real man a man? I mean, people have different perceptions. Is it brute strength? Is it the ability to do things women can't do? No, I think there's a lot more to it. And I think as time goes on and we've become wiser, we've realized that a lot of the roles in homes are shared by men and women that were traditionally male roles. Cooking, for example. In my home, I love cooking. It doesn't make me less of a man. In fact, my wife thinks I'm more of a man because I can cook. I don't know how you feel.
Absolutely. And I get very nervous when my husband and my sons come into the kitchen because they don't want to leave. They eat the cat's food eventually. They're having such a nice time. Yeah, it's belangrijk.
But of course, I'm going to tap into that a little bit later on, talking about the different ways in which men can find masculinity and definition of masculinity other than the obvious physicality that we were referring to right now. But the fact that, on a more serious note, when men get older, there seems to be a certain sense of depression that settles in some instances. Why would you say this happens? Why do men drift into this depression as they get older?
Often they don't understand what they're physically going through in the body. And you know, from the age of 29, for example, you start losing about 2% of your testosterone levels per year, which by the age of 45 means that you've lost 50% of your testosterone levels.
Sure.
So testosterone is important not just for your libido and for your muscle mass. It's important for your cognitions, for your energy levels, and your energy levels determine really to a large degree what you're willing to apply yourself to in life. So I think we need to also be cognizant of that. So with that impending loss and perception of getting older, losing certain functions, losing your hair, changing physically in your appearance, just as women do, men go through a very similar thing as well. And that can then affect their mood quite adversely.
Yeah, Donald Trump is now 70, so no testosterone. What do they... Hy sukkel verskriklik daar, hy vat aan alles, né? Ja,
Liewe ouwe. Listen, vat aan jou phone 'n bietjie en bel ons. Give us a call on 083-9133-728. We're talking about addressing the issue of loss with men, the loss of physical strength, the loss perhaps of physical vitality and the emotions that go along with it. But I think most important to draw from what you've just said right now, Dr. Darren, is that knowledge is power. Understand what it is that's happening to your body so that you can find different ways of addressing these issues when they come around. When we come back, we talk retirement. Dani, weet jy is nog nie afgetree nie.
I can't spell the word, so I don't know what it means.
Lovely, lovely. All right, back to the team.